Hello and welcome back to the Watford Way with the news that Watford Football Club have appointed Valérien Ismaël as the club's new head coach. Now, I did try and find out when his contract runs to, but for some reason, Watford or other journalists haven't actually publicised that information. But I'd assume he'd at least have probably a 2-year contract at the club. And I suppose I'll give you my initial reaction to this news. So, what do I think personally? I actually think it's a good appointment, a solid appointment. I'm happy. If you look at Watford and the situation we're currently in, we're not a Premier League club. We're notorious for sacking managers. We don't have a very good reputation in the wider footballing world at the moment. So if you look at actually Valérien Ismaël's CV and what he's done previously, it's probably up there with one of the best managers we could get at this time in terms of his experience, his age, and his aspirations in the game, really. So I'm quite happy with the appointment. You'll probably know Ismaël best for his success at Barnsley. He's had other jobs since then as well, at West Brom, where he unfortunately got sacked. And most recently, he was at Besiktas in Turkey, obviously working with Dele Alli there as well. So maybe that's a future signing Watford will make. We'll have to wait and see on that. But yes, Ismaël, you might know him from his success at Barnsley. He come into a very poor Barnsley side actually at the start of the 2020 season. I believe in around October. They were just above the Championship relegation zone at that time. He come in to a very average squad at that time, kind of revitalised the club really, and he managed to finish 5th in that season, managing to get Barnsley into the playoff positions. They played Swansea in the semi-finals and just lost out on the aggregate score, which meant obviously they couldn't go to the final. For a club the size of Barnsley, for him to succeed very quickly there in the time he spent there, it's good to see, and it's promising, coming into this season with Watford. What I will say about Ismaël is he has a very distinct style of play. He plays a very, very high line, which means we'll definitely have to recruit at least more versatile defenders in the summer. He plays a very high intensity as well, which is why I think the pre-season for Watford is so important. High press, high line, high intensity football, attacking football. So in terms of his philosophy and what I've just spoke to you about there, I think that's really what we want to see at Watford, because we've had managers in the past, Ranieri, Hodgson, Bilic, Ivic, where they've played very negative football, very defensively. Their personalities in the media aren't that great. And I think with Ismaël, we've got an experienced guy. He has aspirations of managing in the Premier League, clearly, as most managers do. And his football's attractive as well. What we have to get correct is the player recruitment in the summer, and also making sure our fitness levels are where they should be as well, because we've seen this season under Edwards, under Bilic and under Wilder as well, the fitness levels haven't been there, and Watford have led in numerous games this season, going back to Coventry, Sunderland, where we've been 2-0 up, relatively comfortable in games, and whether it's due to mentality or due to fitness, we kind of fall away in the last 15-20 minutes of these matches and let the opposition get back into it. Whereas I think under Ismaël and his philosophy, I don't think that would be the case. So his philosophy looks good. He looks good as a manager. Yes, his past couple of jobs haven't been that successful, but going back to his time at Barnsley, I think that's promising to look at. And also that was in the Championship as well. So he does have experience in the division. In terms of player recruitment, we'll have to wait and see what happens. As I said, I have a very sneaky gut feeling that maybe Watford might go in for someone like a Dele Alli, who was at Besiktas with Ismaël. It just seems like a Watford signing that would be made by Gino Pozzo. But yeah, I think we need to definitely recruit a new goalkeeper to play in Ismaël's system. Playing a high line means that Daniel Batman would pretty much have to play, a sweeper keeper type role, which I personally think is not capable of doing. Some new centre backs, some new fullbacks, some new midfielders, some new attackers. I mean, let's be honest, the whole team needs to be refreshed, needs to be revitalised, which is exciting. We're going to get some new faces in and around the club as well. We've got a new manager, and hopefully this time we can stick with a manager, not for 10 games, not for 20 games, but for a whole season, and build something positive going forward. So let me know your thoughts on the appointment of Valérien Ismaël in the comments section below. And yeah, let me know what you think about the season and about what you think is going to happen, really. It's exciting stuff. I didn't think he would be appointed this quickly, but 2 days after Chris Wilder left the club, Watford have gone and appointed a new manager, which I think is promising, it's exciting, and it shows that at the moment there is a plan in place. There seems to be a strategy under Ben Manga. And yeah, we've got the João Pedro money as well, £35 million from Brighton, which hopefully means in the next few weeks we can get some deals done and get some players through the door. So as I said, let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. Please subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of the latest Watford breaking news, transfer rumours, new kits, all that stuff that's going to happen in the coming weeks. And I'll see you again very, very soon. Bye-bye.